Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back again with another true crime reading. This time it's on Unsolved Mysteries, Season 3, Episode 4. It's about Buffalo Jim, aka Jim Barrier, and his mysterious death. Was it murder or was it an overdose? That is what everyone is wondering. So if you haven't watched the episode, you really should. But to summarize it pretty quickly, he had a feud with someone for a long time. They ended up going to prison. There were allegations that they had mob ties. He got out of prison and Jim died the next day. He was being threatened. His life was being threatened. They were saying they were going to use a woman to help make it look like it was an accident or something. And it's very eerily similar to what actually happened. There is evidence to support the fact that he just overdosed on drugs or cocaine. So who knows? We're going to go ahead and do a reading on this and see what exactly happened to Buffalo Jim, aka Jim Barrier. So remember, these readings are all alleged friend chambers only, and let's get started. Okay, so first of all, I want to kind of see if it was an accident or an overdose. I feel like that's really the main thing, right? So let's see. We should put... I'm going to try something new. Actually, you know what? Let's use this deck. I'm going to try something new. What I want to do is what I want to look at here is I want to see if I can specifically ask for a card to determine what happened. Because like normally when I do these true crime readings, especially for Unsolved Mysteries, I'm looking at the dynamic between them and other people, right? And like there's a mysterious woman named Lisa that some people are saying was a stripper or whatever, which we'll get into in a second. But I want to see if I specifically set the intention to find cause of death, since this one is really like questionable. If I can get it. So I guess the first card will be him, and then the second one will be cause of death, and we'll kind of go from there. So he's the Seven of Wands reversed. So Seven of Wands, when it's reversed, is not an underdog. So typically the Seven of Wands cannot prove its innocence or prove anything. So there definitely seems to be a lot about him that people didn't know. So that usually indicates a darker side, or I guess I shouldn't say darker side, but secrets. Cause of death is Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups... Oh my God. Okay. So Seven of Cups is a card of many possibilities. So did I get a direct answer? Not really. Seven of Cups means things can go a lot of different ways, but Seven of Cups is also my card of illusions. So things are not what they appear with the Seven of Cups. There is a Chariot reversed. Okay. All right, so so if you haven't seen the episode yet, I mean, I'll fill you in, but the car went missing and showed up mysteriously. His car went missing and showed up mysteriously, his Rolls Royce. And people are wondering if that's related, and I do think it is related, and I do think that there were two things that were happening at once here. So I do not believe that he was sober. With the Seven of Wands reversed, I don't believe he was sober. Emperor reversed, Nine of Swords reversed, Magician reversed. I don't believe that he was sober. And if he was sober, then he was doing something else that he shouldn't be doing. But to me, it seems, all alleged friend chambers only, to me, it seems like he may have started to fall back into the wagon because he had a coke problem allegedly previously and he wasn't doing it anymore, so they say. With the Seven of Wands reverse, I don't think that that's 100% accurate. I do think that there was at least something that he was doing that he knew he shouldn't be doing. I'm gonna assume that that was drugs with the Seven of Cups, because Seven of Cups can sometimes indicate the drugs and alcohol. And the Chariot is reverse also, which is about like a halt in progress, which makes me think if you've been sober for a while, now there's a halt in progress, or something you're not proud of. Seven of Wands reverse, something you can't really, your words are not being able to be proven. You're not an underdog. And the Seven of Cups, you're selling a fantasy. There's many options here. For me, it makes me feel like perhaps he was trying to get some sort of enjoyment out of a different drug, or maybe the old drug that he loved, and he had like fallen off the wagon. So I do think that he was partaking in some sort of fun with alcohol or substances. I do think a lot of what he was doing was in secret because of that. So that could indicate why perhaps there was multiple phones, like maybe he had a burner phone or whatever, who knows. But it does look like there was a slight double life. The Emperor is reversed, which is a loss of control. The Nine of Swords is stress and anxiety, and the Magician is about secrets here because it's like cold communication or no communication. So for me, I do think he had a double life for a little bit here. There was something he was partaking in and enjoying that he didn't want anyone else to know, which again makes me feel like the shame and the secret behavior that you have when you're addicted to something or when you're falling back in something you didn't want to do. So I do think that there was there's the Five of Wands. There was a double life there. The Five of Wands reverse, the Towers reverse, and the Two of Wands. So I do think that there is some sexual motivation here. I mean, there were allegations that she was a stripper or whatever. It wouldn't shock me if she was like a call girl, a woman of the night, who knows. The Two of Wands is sex, and the Towers reverse, which is like trying to fix a problem. I think that he knew that he needed to tie up loose ends from some of the issues he was having. And I think he needed to tie up some loose ends, and he was trying to do that before because he was paranoid that that guy was going to get him, right? And I think he was trying to beat him to the punch and tie up all of his loose ends. I do believe that he partaked in strippers or escorts or women of the night. I do think that. That is something that I do think he was doing consistently. I don't necessarily think it was like toxic. I just think it was something he was enjoying. I mean, he was a popular person. It makes sense. That being said, there were accusations that someone was in the hotel before or previously. I'm not super convinced that someone was waiting for him there, that was trying to get him. For me, the Queen of Swords being reversed, the Sun being upright, and the Knight of Cups, that makes me think the other person here, how do I word this? The other person here would either be someone who's like a pimp or someone who's a drug dealer. Five of Pentacles, I have a power over someone. Justice card makes me think of like legal loopholes. And the Devil card here is negativity, toxicity, but that's also drugs, alcohol, it could be sex. So for me, it would be either someone who was a pimp or in charge of, whatever things, or a drug dealer, or both. So it seems like it does seem to me like there's two things going on at once. The problem I'm having is the Sun being upright and the Page of Cups means that the other person that's involved here, that girl did know. She did have a connection with. I do think it's possible that this woman lured him into something. It's possible. My issue is I can't figure out why because it's almost as if she was like coming to him saying like, I'm scared of him too. Can you help me? Very damsel in distress. And I see him feeling sorry for her. I think he had a weak spot for women. Makes sense. He has 4 daughters, but I think he had a weak spot for women. And that's why they were like saying we'll go have tea with women, because I think he had a weak spot for women. I think he had a savior complex. And I think he tried to like save women a lot. And I think with the Two of Pentacles reverse, the Five of Cups reverse, and the Eight of Swords, I think there was a part of him that wanted to kind of like save people and get them out of the lifestyle they were in. And I think she may have baited him. The thing that I'm confused about is it possible that they were just trying to like rob him or take something from him or finesse him and didn't really realize that he was going to die? Or maybe she didn't know that he was going to die. Because the moon is there, okay, which is lies, deceit, deception. The Ten of Swords is reversed, which is like self-sabotage. And the Eight of Pentacles reversed, which is lack of effort. Which to me means like, how do I word that? That reads to me as like, I don't want to word it as like getting lucky, but if I put myself in the position of, let's say that there was someone trying to get at him, right? Because I actually do think someone was trying to get to him. I do. Is it possible that he died before they could even do what they wanted to do? Because it's almost like they accidentally killed him too quickly. Like, maybe they did lace the coke, but it's almost like they didn't think that he would overdose. I mean, overdosing on coke is pretty fucking difficult. So it wouldn't be surprising if he kind of died quicker than they expected. This is what I think happened. For me, I can only see two scenarios for this from what I'm seeing and what I'm like seeing in my head. There are only two scenarios that I can see. Either they were trying to finesse him and wanted money or whatever from him and he accidentally died from the coke they gave him, or they were trying to set him up and lure him into a trap, gave him the coke, and then he died before they could even do the trap or execute the trap. That is those are the only two ways that this could have gone. In my opinion, allegedly for entertainers only. It's almost like it was too easy. That's what I'm hearing, like this was too easy. It's almost like they were going to do so much more and they didn't even have to. That's what I'm hearing. I'm also not getting like vengeance or revenge or like anger, which is why I'm like, I feel like this was just like, it's almost like accidentally too easy. King of Swords reverse, Seven of Pentacles reverse, and the Knight of Cups. Yeah, dude, there's like literally all like you're out of your comfort zone, you're out of your element, and then it just like what? I do think that there was an attempt to set him up. I don't even know if they got that far, though. I don't even think they got that far. Two of Swords, Three of Cups reverse, and Ten of Wands reverse. A release of a burden. Three of Cups makes me feel like, yeah, there's untrustworthy people, but the Two of Swords is upright, which makes me feel like separate from them. I genuinely do think that they were trying to set him up, but I almost think that they were trying to set him up to be embarrassed and he died. Like this energy makes me feel more like blackmail, setting someone up for blackmail. I'm going to catch you, I'm going to record you, whatever, I'm going to get blackmail on you, or setting someone up to where this is the first time and then we're going to get you a second time and then we're going to or it's like we're going to set you up and then we're going to lure you somewhere else and do something to you. This makes me feel like this was like the first part of some sort of plan of execution and he just died like right off the bat. That's what it makes me feel like. It's like there was a full plan, a full thing here, and then he died. Now, I can't tell you if that's connected to the guy or if it's just this woman and this other guy who I feel like was either a pimp or a drug dealer or whatever, if they were just like vigilantes. I don't know. I can't tell you that. But for me, it just seems like they were trying to set him up. Genuinely, if I were to take a guess, based off of what I'm seeing, if I were to take a guess, what feels closest to me is about catching him in an act and having evidence to blackmail him with. And perhaps there was someone sitting in the tub or something ready to come out with like a video recording or a camera or something of him. I feel blackmail. That's what I feel, is them trying to create blackmail on him to get him to do what they want him to do. And I think he died. That's honestly what I feel, is like they were attempting to get blackmail. Now, I could be slightly off or slightly wrong, but I don't think that it was like, I don't think that their goal was to kill him with cocaine. That's what I see. So, I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what it's reading as. I'll pull one more. Yeah. Yeah, this is about executing a plan. This the girl, she's executing a plan, but the Strength card is reversed, which is about being vulnerable, which makes me feel like things went wrong. Yeah, it's almost like we couldn't even get to where we needed to go. So, I don't know. That's what I see. Remember, readings are all legend for tampers only. If you like that, make sure you tip. There's a link to my PayPal down below. There's a button on YouTube that's a heart that says thanks. Give me money directly. We'll be doing the rest of the episodes. Check out the rest of the series on here. Follow me Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube here. Antphrodite. Until next time. Bye, guys.